Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Good morning to you indeed. It is Friday, April 5th. So good to have you in company for another Morning Barbados presentation. I'm Tisha Hines and we're coming your way live from the Standard Showroom in Wildey. I hope you had a great week and it was a short week for us, which means we're happy, yes? Anything for a longer weekend or a shorter week. Hopefully we've been getting in some rest. This weekend though, I don't anticipate that there will be any rest for you or for me because there's Rise Reggae. Rise Reggae is in Barbados. Some of the biggest names in reggae music and certainly dancehall will be here, namely Spice. We're expecting Spice to be on Morning Barbados today, so hopefully she'll be able to make it. I know how these things go. Sometimes the artists are here and they have so many spots to hit before they hit the stage that it doesn't happen, but we're hoping that she will be able to make it with us today. Also, we're connecting with culture. That's right, so we have a few dancers who will be in, including Kelvin Carvalho and a few others who are going to talk to us about a fantastic initiative coming up. But we wanted to start today's show by talking to a young lady who's doing fantastic things in terms of writing. Now, she's an author 10 times over. She told me she's written just about 10 books. She now has 3 published. And here she is with Mum to share with us on this beautiful Friday. Anna Paul, good morning to you. Good morning. And Mum, Krista J. Paul with her.
Good morning, good to be here.
Good to have you with us. Now, you know, it's a family affair because Dad is off to the side. There are branded shirts and we are celebrating the adventures of Poro the polar bear, which is your first series that you've written and is now published, as we can see here, being held by Mum. So first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Talk to me about when you started writing this series. How did it get going?
Well, I was inspired by my father writing books, and I didn't want to write about a flying fish for fear of copyright infringement or something like that. So I decided, hey, why not a polar bear?
All right. Did you do a little research into polar bears, or did you go by just what you knew and felt?
I actually just went by what I knew. Then after my parents decided to get it published, then we did a little research.
All right, excellent stuff. Mom, Krista J., you know, when did you realize that she had this knack for writing?
Well, as she said, she was inspired by her father. He has a number of children's books, including The Adventures of Finny the Flying Fish. So she was inspired by his stories. And one day she came to us and she said, Mommy, may I read my book to you? So we were like, book? You wrote a book? And she read it and we were amazed at the talent and the thought and the plot. And so we said, no, we had to absolutely publish this book. And she's always loved to read. She started reading at age 3. So to see her write as well, that was a good surprise.
What did your friends think and other people when they realized that you had written these 3 books that are now published?
Everyone, literally everyone, was like, oh, Anna, we're so proud of you. We're so proud of you.
All right, so now you're going to be participating in a Between the Lines reading program. Tell me a little bit more about that.
So Dr. Henderson Carter, head of the Department of History and Philosophy at UWI Cave Hill campus, he would have seen her article on the presentation that she did for her books, for these 2 books actually, for Exploring the Shipwreck and A Lesson on Self-Control in the series. She would have presented it to St. Stephen's Primary through the National Peace Program, who would have funded the publishing of these 2 books. And we say thank you to them as well. And so he saw her and he said, you know what, we need to have her be part of this program. So the Between the Lines reading program is one that is seeking to inspire young readers to explore the field of literacy, and to be inspired by her as well in this, and not just to read, but to also perhaps write their own books as well.
What did it mean to you, Anna, to be able to present your book to students from another school? I know you go to Wills, and I'm inextricably linked to Wills Primary School. But what does it mean to you, or what did it mean to you to be able to present your books to students from another school?
Well, it actually meant quite a bit to me. Also because I got to see other schools that I've never seen before, and just to inspire other children to write like I do and to read more too.
Oh, that's excellent. Now, talk to me a little bit about, I know we don't want to skip past the adventures of Poro, the polar bear, exploring the shipwreck for the first one. And I would imagine different names down the series, but you told me you've already written 10 books. So how often do you write? Do you write all the time, or just as it comes to you?
I literally write just as it comes to me, because my ideas, they can come within a few days, within a few weeks, even a few months. So as soon as I get an idea, I would either journal it down in my head, or I would start typing on my laptop.
So you're thinking about copyright and all that stuff already. I heard you talking about not writing about flying fish. Then I discovered Daddy had written about the flying fish. So who told you about copyright? Did Daddy tell you it would be copyright infringement if you wrote about what he was writing about too?
No, he did not actually.
I was just kidding, but it certainly must be beautiful to be able to engage in this way, and at her young age, for her to be writing in this way must be truly overwhelming for you.
Yes, it's. I mean, we're very pleased. We're very grateful. We thank God for what He's doing in her, and we just look forward to what's in store. She said she's written 10 books already. She's on to another series. She loves robotics, so we'll see what happens with that particular series and look for it in the future.
Now, I know you have a book reading coming up. Yes, where will that be, and when will we get a chance to see you reading from your series?
Well, I don't really know a lot about it, but as far as I know, I will be reading this Saturday at the National Library.
All right, from what time? Mummy?
10:30, from 10:30 to 12.
All right, so from 10:30 to 12. Have you decided what excerpt, what part of the book you'll be reading for the children at the National Library Service?
No, not yet. But there are a few excerpts that I've been thinking of.
All right, well, I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag, because I can see that you are kind of holding it back. And that's the good thing about being an author. You get to decide which part of it you want to share. Talk to me about, these other things that Anna is now embarking on as a young author, being able to head out and share and inspire a whole new category of authors, young people, through her words and actions.
Yes, we're very pleased about that, the fact that she can do this. And it's not just here in Barbados, because we've had the opportunity to go and promote her books in different areas and meet people from all over the world who have been really fascinated by her books, as far as Europe, Turkey and England, and we're just really grateful for what's happening in that regard. And all her books are on Amazon as well, so the ability to be able to get it at your fingertips anywhere in the world is fantastic.
What's the most amazing thing that has happened so far with you, Anna, in terms of, putting your books out there and so many people looking to you as an author?
So, the most amazing thing would really be actually simply publishing the books. Because when I wrote about Poro, I just wrote it for fun. I didn't expect that mommy and daddy would be like, hey, we need to get that published.
So there were, I sensed, two pretty amazing things. Publishing, but most importantly, I think is wonderful that mom and dad were in the frame of mind to take it to the next level, because there's so many parents, their children out here writing, and they say, oh, this is a beautiful story, but they don't think about taking it to the next step. Do you think that is because dad himself is an author and mom is in the media, maybe? Those two added to the influence?
Yes, I would definitely say that. And the thing is that we self-publish our books, and it was weeks, perhaps even a couple months of trial and error, getting it wrong so many times before we actually got it right. But it is possible. And the thing is that so many of us close our minds off to what it is that is possible, because we say, oh, I don't know how to do that. But then there's no excuse now. I mean, there's so much information available for you to be able to just get it done. You just have to have the mind to be able to do it. And there are people who will help you publish books as well. So I would definitely say to parents, encourage them in that regard. If you see your child having this ability, this talent, to hone it in that way and encourage them and build them, because you never know where it will go.
That's beautiful. And for the books, at this point in time, this one is Exploring the Shipwreck. The second one is A Lesson on Self-Control. So very interesting concepts that she's exploring as well. I wish you all the best as an author and beyond, because I can see that there's a whole lot more that's coming. Let's talk about all the other people that kind of poured into the book, the illustrations and other things like that.
Right. Well, you'll see on the cover of the book, illustrated by Ayan Mansouri. He is not a local illustrator, but we're grateful for the talent that he provided in the illustrations for these books. And, just to see, have the viewers see inside. I mean, beautifully illustrated. And of course, to say Daddy, Reverend Roger Paul, he's very, very integral to this process, as we would have gone through the publishing of the books and so on. I mentioned the National Peace Program. Without them, we wouldn't even be sitting here right now. They would have selected Anna and funded the publishing of these particular titles. She would have had the first one, Helping Others. We don't have any print of those right now, but they're available on Amazon. And we want to thank them for their initiative in this, and for all they're doing in the country as well. And of course, relatives. We can't forget the relatives, the grandparents and godparents and etc. So we're grateful.
All right, that's beautiful. Congratulations again, Anna.
Thanks.
And I know the whole of Wills are sitting in front of TVs. I know how it goes. A Wills student shows up and, they're sitting in front of the TV watching you. So I would imagine it's lots of support from school and from your classmates and teachers as well.
Yes, very much so.
All right, good stuff. Congratulations, Mom.
Thank you.
Congratulations in an even bigger way, Anna. And we certainly look forward to you participating in the Between the Lines reading program featuring Anna Paul's reading session. Is scheduled to take place tomorrow, Saturday, from 10:30 to 12 noon at the National Library Service on Fairchild Street in Bridgetown. So get the little ones together, come out and support this initiative.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you around.
Thank you.
All right, good stuff. Up top. All right, so coming up next, we're going to be speaking with Dr. Ann St. John. We're looking at the Childhood Diabetes Coalition and all that's been going on. We've been hearing a lot about the octagonal warning labels and all they're doing with that campaign to make sure that we know what's in our food. That's all coming up next. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Every night, we bring you a complete look at the weather forecast because keeping you safe and informed is our top priority. The CBC Weather Report, brought to you by Ace H&B Hardware, the helpful hardware.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience. The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
Tune in to CBC Newsnight for the NISS Business Report, a comprehensive look at the local, regional, and international business world every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday during CBC Newsnight. Brought to you by the National Insurance and Social Security Service. More than a contribution, it's your lifeline.
Every night, we bring you a complete look at the weather forecast because keeping you safe and informed is our top priority. The CBC Weather Report, brought to you by Ace H&B Hardware, the helpful hardware.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience. The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Quite recently, we've been hearing a lot about the octagonal warning labels. It's a campaign that's happening, and it's all about saving lives. At the outset, when you look at it, you might not think that, but the very theme of the campaign says that's what it needs to do. It says we need to know. So help me welcome Professor Anne St. John, Chair of the Barbados Childhood Obesity Prevention Coalition. Good morning.
Lovely to be here again.
Good to see you. I haven't seen you except for on TV for quite some time. So it's good to have you here in the flesh. And congratulations on all of the work that you're doing through Heart and Stroke Foundation, and most certainly in moving toward getting this campaign further into the public's view, and certainly picking up steam among the people that you need to get the octagonal labels that you do. So let's start at the beginning. Where are you with the campaign, and where's the campaign heading?
We had a recent mass media launch campaign in Golden Square. We had been advocating for some time that it's very alarming. There's an epidemic of non-communicable diseases in Barbados. And fortuitously, World Health Day is coming up this weekend. And their theme is My Health, My Right. And we're advocating in HSFB and the coalition that people have a right to know. Substantial evidence demonstrates that the population is consuming excessive sodium, high fat, saturated fat, also high sugar, and a lot of ultra-processed foods and processed foods. And this is contributing to the statistics that we have. In fact, the picture in Barbados reveals that 1 in 5 adult Barbadians has diabetes. 1 in 3 children are overweight or obese. 2/3 of adults are overweight, 1/3 obese, and 80% of deaths in Barbados are caused by non-communicable diseases. And an important factor has been shown by scientific evidence that front of package warning labels are very important. And in fact, here we have octagonal warning labels, save lives. And this is the message that we're giving.
All right, now I can see that from your research, you're saying that 75% of Barbadians support front of package warning labels. So what do we need to do to be able to get to the next step? Who do we need to speak to, or where must we advocate?
We have been speaking and in close discussion with the government, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Education. I'll get onto that about the school nutrition policy. But so far, and pleasingly, encouragingly, Barbados government has voted for front of package warning labels, octagonal labels. However, it is a CARICOM initiative. One requires 2/3 of vote from CARICOM to move forward, because it involves a lot of collaboration, industry, governments, and so unfortunately the vote has not met that. It was 40% the last time, we voted earlier this year. So we're hoping that the next vote, that other territories who have not come on board for this front package octagonal warning labels will be there.
What do you think are some of the reasons that other territories might not be on board as yet? Could it be that, you know, they're not as exposed to the messaging as we are here in Barbados, and they might get on board, or is it that maybe they're more manufacturing entities in some of the other countries, and that would call for greater investment to their mind?
Yes, indeed, it's multifactorial. One is a lack of education. There needs to be a strong lobby from the public that they have the right to know what they're consuming. This front of package warning labels ensures that when you go to the supermarket, you don't have an opportunity to turn the package and look to see how much sugar. It says on the front, black and white, high in sodium, high in sugar, high in saturated fats, or ultra-processed and processed foods warnings. So that's important. The other factor is that the industry, there have been claims, and I've also heard it on the ground here, that the manufacturers would then have to go to a greater expense to label the food. However, if you go to the supermarket, you can see that much of the food that comes in, I can't quote the percentage, is labeled. From the UK, for example, some countries use the traffic light signal, some just have label it on. So I've even seen the octagonal warning labels in the supermarket, but we have to lobby for the health of our people, because it's been shown that front of package warning labels could prevent at least 16% of deaths from diet-related non-communicable diseases and save $732 million in mortality costs. So we can't afford it. Every year we have a budget, everything is going up. So we need to have some sort of mechanism for that. And in addition to this, we have the school's nutrition policy, which was implemented last year, third term. It's going fairly well. We need a lot more education about it, but regularizing what is served in school meals, what is sold in the schools, what the children have, a lot more water, healthy foods, growing vegetables too. So these are some of the measures which are in place and working on them.
And there are some wonderful measures. For people who are here in Barbados, I know you can't miss the work that you're doing, most certainly not with the school's policy and so on, and what's happening with not serving certain drinks and food in schools. Even the children are talking about it, and that's the most important part. So it is kind of top of mind. As we look toward World Health Day this weekend, I would imagine that what you're doing ties in nicely with the overall thrust of that campaign and the theme for World Health Day this year as well.
Very much, yes. My health, my right. And we're saying knowledge is power. You have the right to know what you're taking in your food and drink. So this is generally tying in very well with the WHO's thing.
Absolutely. My health, my right. And as we mentioned in a discussion about World Health Day observances and celebrations and how it will be celebrated across the island just yesterday, we were talking about the responsibilities that come along with the rights. And this ties in with precisely what you're saying. So shores up beautifully. But the figures are there for everyone to see. For average Barbadians, how can we be a part of this advocacy? How can we lobby to be able to get things done or get things moving? What can we do to support the campaign overall?
It's been pleasing that we've had good support. The Childhood Obesity Coalition has a membership of about 40 organizations or individuals. Even BARP is on board. You would say, why do older people need to be involved in a Childhood Obesity Prevention Coalition? But they have grandparents and parents who prepare the meals for the children. And we find that the more people on board, the more education and understanding. It is not that we're trying to force something upon families, but it's for their good, because it's shown by diabetologists, endocrinologists who study children that 20 years from now, the little child who is 4, 5, and 6, the impact of what they have been consuming in the first few years of life, their arteries get loaded with fat and cholesterol, and then they start to develop type 2 diabetes at a far earlier age. As we are seeing in Barbados, it's alarming, the younger ages with type 2 diabetes.
I'm happy that you talked about that intergenerational conversation that really needs to happen in terms of how we prepare foods and what we eat. It's because a lot of it is cultural. A lot of it is culture, and I know sometimes the most difficult thing to do is to try to change how people have done things for decades or for centuries.
That is true.
You know, whichever comes first. So, you know, what's the overall strategy for trying to change culture in Barbados? Because we know traditionally people want to have pudding and sauce, and they want to have sweet bread and this and that. I know we will say it comes down to the preparation, but how do we go about one step at a time getting people en masse to really move toward changing these things so that we can see a change in the non-communicable diseases and how they're affecting our population?
It can't happen in a day. Rome wasn't built in a day. Healthcare takes time and changes take time. However, the strategy is the implementation of the policy from early. For example, what is fed at the nurseries, the school meals where you're in school, primary school at least, from 4 to 11 years, what you're having there as an overall policy. There's nothing wrong with having some ice cream, nothing wrong with having some pudding and sauce. We find the portions people are consuming, it's alarming. It's found about 400 more calories are consumed per day by the average adult than used to be before. The amount of fat, changing how you prepare food. For example, not deep frying in batter, to bake or to broil or something like that, air fry. So changes like that, and consuming the amount of sugar sweetened sodas. Some children, some students are consuming 3 a day, whereas before they used to drink water, maybe a soda sometimes, because the parents instilled this. So it's an education process from 3 years up to whenever you leave this earth.
That's important. A lot. 3 sugar sweetened beverages a day.
Per day, yes, that is so.
The average student.
Well, I wouldn't say the average, but it's consumed by some of the students.
Wow.
I mean, we have done surveys which were published before about fast food consumption, how many times a week, how many sodas they drink in a week. And so drink water instead of. That is it, the thought and the education.
All right, well, I think that based on the key messages that are being shared, we can see that octagonal warning labels can indeed save lives.
There's no dispute about this. This is factual and scientific information. The WHO has done studies across the world in many countries, and certainly South America, Chile, Mexico. They are even instituting certain laws about nutrition and food policies. So food security is also another challenge. Many, many factors. But at the end of the day, we have evidence that 16% of deaths from diet-related NCDs and a savings of $732 million US in mortality could be something which is a reality.
And I know in recent times at the Heart and Stroke Foundation, you've been offering more programs for younger people. So the fact that we're starting these conversations with younger people, I would imagine, will move towards seeing fewer of these people later on in life, which is the general aim.
We live in hope, and you have to keep the message going. People easily forget things. So we have a youth gym. Referral can be made through the doctor, through the school, on Saturday mornings, according to age group. And that's a microcosm, but importance, increased physical activity, participation in sport, things like that are very important for healthy living and lifestyles.
And as we look toward the observance of World Health Day this weekend, I know there are a number of activities, one at the National Stadium, one at Queen's Park, that will be happening tomorrow. You know, what's your message to Barbadians as we go toward this observance this weekend?
Message is to learn a bit more about a healthy lifestyle and try to implement what you can. It's not possible to split oneself into 3 places, but there's also something happening at Queen's College, a Q3 run, which was postponed from last Saturday when it rained. And I'm hoping and praying that the rain won't impact any of these activities, but planning to be there at each one if possible.
All right, that's absolutely beautiful. Remember, you can also support the campaign online. Use the hashtags octagonal warning labels for all, hashtag facts for our future, labels, let us live, and rights to healthy foods, among others. You can find out more information by going to hsfbarbados.org. And the aim is to reduce consumption of unhealthy foods, exercise your right to know what's in your food, and lend your support. Thank you so much, Dr. St. John.
Thank you for having me on the program.
All right, it's time for another break. Do stay with us. We have so much coming up today. We're going to head into the kitchen here at Standard and do a little bit of cooking. Who knows? We might mix up a few drinks. It's the weekend. After all, Rise is happening this weekend. Rise Reggae. We're expecting Spice to come on through and share with us this morning. And of course, we are doing a little bit of dancing as well. Well, not physically. You know I have 2 left feet, yes? But I'm going to enjoy talking to other people about dancing. The Barbados Theatre Arts Performing Group recently visited Venezuela, where they performed. Salim Small will be here, Anik Herbert and Rickard Smith. Hopefully all of them will be here. So we look forward to telling you more about that. More is coming up. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, having a little bit too much fun. Of course, you know how we do behind the scenes. Have to give a big shout out to the CBC crew who do a fantastic job every single day. And I must tell you that is amazing to work with people who love what they do. If I tried to call all the names now, it probably wouldn't work out. So I'll do that at the end as we go through the show. But it's great to have Anik Herbert, who's a dancer and singer, sitting with us today. And Salim Small is also here. And he's a dancer too. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
So wonderful to have both of you with us.
Thank you.
Well, I have to get to know you a little bit more, Salim, but Anik.
Yes.
Superstar Anik. Oh my goodness, I have to kind of set the tone for all you've been doing because I saw you in a totally different light last crop over
Yes.
when you took things by storm. What was the name of the song again?
The Chosen Few.
As if I forgot. The Chosen Few, it was beautiful.
Thank you.
It's been amazing to see your growth in the industry. And this might date me a little bit, but I remember seeing you as a little one performing
yes.
all the way to here you are as a beautiful performer now. So talk to us about this recent trip that you took to Venezuela to perform.
Okay, so we actually had the opportunity to travel to Venezuela and showcase our theater arts performance piece called Nights of Significance. And the group that traveled to Venezuela is called Caribbean Fusion, and that was directed by Mr. Kelvin Carvalho.
Excellent. Tell me,
Yes.
Salim, how did you get into dance and then into this group?
Well, initially I got into dance because of my dad. It was he that told me about the dance program that was at BCC. So from there, because I did a degree in economics and IT at BCC first, and then, you know, after
All right,
that,
so pump the brakes there a minute, because I know, Salim, you didn't think that you could walk through that. So you did a degree in economics and IT,
Yes.
and then Dad said, woo, there's a program in dance.
yeah, because he always knew I liked to dance.
Okay.
So when he found out about the program at BCC, the dance program, he told me about it, and he said that there's auditions coming up soon. That was back in 2015. And I did it, and then ever since I started dancing, and I'm here now.
Oh, that's wonderful. Tell me how the program came about to be able to go showcase what you're doing.
Okay, so Nights of Significance was first produced and put on in November 2022. So it was a big production here in Barbados, and we did that at the Commonwealth School. And the Venezuelan consulate, and they had offered the opportunity, along with the Ministry of Culture, to allow us to go and showcase the production in Venezuela for the International Venezuela Theater Progressive Arts Festival. And so obviously we took a smaller contingent because it went from about over 40 something persons to 11 of us. So we all had to dance, sing, and act. You know, some of us were in new roles and new capacities, but I think it made the production even stronger, and the message came across to the Venezuelan people.
Well, that's excellent. I know in the original production you portrayed Bassa, Nanny Gregg, and a whole host of other national figures, historical figures as well. So talk to me about the scaling down of this production that you then took and shared in Venezuela.
Well, with the skinning down, we had to take out some scenes that I would say they were not as pivotal to telling the story. So without these scenes, the story still came across as cohesive and clear. But it was, as Anit said, it was kind of characters had to, and the castmates had to basically take on multiple roles, whereas so a lot of the world had to be shared between, I guess, 11 people that went on the thing. So many long rehearsal nights, rehearsal starting at 9 p.m. and finishing after 1, sometimes after 2. So it was a great process though. It was a learning experience because many people that danced before but stopped dancing in terms of Annie. She did the dancing years. She now had to come back into the role as a dancer because before in the original Nights of Significance, her role was more so just acting, and then I think you sang to it?
Yes.
Yeah, acting and singing. But in this Venezuelan trip, she had to also become a dancer too in the production.
So Annie, they had to break out the WD-40?
Yes.
Or are you staying in step, so to speak, even before that?
Well, I would say staying in, but kind of bring the WD-40. But it was, I mean, My role in Nights of Significance was Mrs. Bailey, but the story does follow Busa and Nanny Greg, and it also takes us through the whole transatlantic slave experience, where you see slaves brought from Africa to Barbados, and then it also follows the whole 1816 Busa revolt. So, and Nanny Greg was very pivotal in that. So that's the story we're trying to put across and trying to educate persons, Barbadians, about our history, you know. So it's great to be a part of a production like that.
I'm so happy you talked about education. What does it mean to you, Salim, to be able to be a part of bringing history to life in this way, and not only sharing it with a new generation of Barbadians, but being able to share Barbadian history with others?
I would say it's very important from the standpoint that our, I guess, ancestry and culture has been kind of not necessarily lost, but I would say diluted. So, we had a press meeting before we left to Venezuela, and one of the reporters never heard of Nanny Greg before at all. So from her,
a Bajan reporter?
Yes, a Bajan reporter. So from her just being in the space and listening to us talk about the production and the research and the process and the characters, Busa, Nanny Greg, she kind of, she learned more. So, and that reporter was, I would say, maybe in her 30s. So imagine people around our age that don't know. And if the people around our age don't know, definitely the younger generation don't know at all. So I would say this production is very pivotal in educating the youth and educating just the Barbadian society on a whole. So yeah, it's very important.
That's beautiful. Let's delve into the experience itself, the travel to Venezuela, the experience around the performance.
I would say it's always interesting traveling with a group, but it was a beautiful experience. The Venezuelan people were very warm and welcoming. We actually had a chaperone, Veronica, which we adored her, and she really assisted right above and beyond because some of our cast members got injured as well. And we had the opportunity to perform the performance 3 times, one in Bolivar State, and I guess the persons in Bolivar, they showed up and showed out. Like they gave us a standing ovation, and that really showed me that even though we have a language barrier, art does transcend language barriers. So they really appreciated the piece because it speaks about revolution, and so they really, I think that was a great experience.
Resonated with them.
Yeah, it really resonated with them.
Yes.
And I would say when we performed in San Agustin, this was one of my most memorable experiences. Our last performance, during the play, like towards the end, the lights went down, electricity went off briefly, and the audience just automatically took up their phones and started lighting up the entire stage with their flashlights. So, and we didn't miss a beat. We were able to continue the performance. That was an amazing experience, to be quite honest.
It showed that they truly were in tune with what was happening. What about your experience, Salim?
I would say my experience was a great one, actually. I think from the news we are painted a picture of Venezuela being this war-torn, very high crime society, but I feel like with any society there will be pockets of that in any society. Still can be said with Barbados. But in my experience traveling in different states, different areas, that wasn't the case. It was very welcoming. Like they were very accommodating in terms of their service. So you would go to a store, they can't speak English, I can't speak Spanish. They would try their best to understand us. So they would use like apps to translate and stuff like that. They were very patient. So where an interaction in Barbados would take maybe 30 seconds, it took maybe sometimes 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but they never seemed bothered or annoyed or frustrated. They were always welcoming. And then interacting with just the locals on the street, everything was friendly, even from the police too. There was one part where we wanted to go to KFC, we wanted to try KFC in Venezuela, but we had to take the metro. Yes, we had to take the metro so being in a foreign country, we weren't sure how to get there. But one of our castmates, Sharifa Joseph, speaks Spanish, so she kind of flagged out these 2 officers, and the officers are very accommodating.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. So they escorted us to the metro and waited until we got onto the train. So it was a very amazing experience, to be honest.
Y'all caught a train to go and buy some KFC.
Yes.
I flagged out police.
Amongst other things.
Just one sound going for a dung dung. Yeah, but that shows, that you had a great experience, a great all-round experience. And I'm happy that you got to experience Venezuela and you see it from another perspective based on what you were able to experience. Of course, we have to thank you for representing Barbados in this way. I know it takes a great deal to be able to lift history off the pages and bring it into our sites in a way that all generations of people can enjoy. So congratulations to you guys and the entire cast.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, for a job well done. Only one question left to ask. You got the KFC. Was it all you expected it to be?
It was better.
All right, you guys have a happy weekend.
Same
Wonderful
to
to
you.
have
Same
you.
to you.
Good to see you, Anik.
Thank
Wonderful
you.
to catch up with you, Salim.
Thank you.
And the entire cast. 12 people went off. Kevin Carvalho, he was playwright and director of Nights of Significance, and he was there as well. So coming up next, he's going to join us along with actor Akil Eiffel, and we'll hear from them about their experience with the travel and the sharing of Barbadian history as well. So stay with us. We are coming your way live on this Friday, and lots more is to come. So don't leave us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience. The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
Tune in to CBC Newsnight for the NISS Business Report, a comprehensive look at the local, regional, and international business world every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday during CBC Newsnight. Brought to you by the National Insurance and Social Security Service. More than a contribution, it's your lifeline.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you indeed. So welcome back to Morning Barbados. Sun is high in the sky and getting some much needed sunshine coming in as we enjoy the ambience of Standard and of course being here in the Wildey area. I'm sure that you can see how heavy the traffic is outside. Where are you going on this Friday morning, Bajan people? The children are out of school, and that is why Principal Akil Eiffel is here. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to make it. So here he is with Kelvin Carvalho to talk a little bit about this visit. So congratulations to you guys as well.
Thank you.
On
Thank you.
what obviously was a fantastic showing for the island and for the presentation. So let me start with you, Kelvin, because I know how you work. You're diligent with your work. You are 100% invested, and you can see it in the product. Usually we see you presenting in the area of dance most of the time, but for an entire presentation like this, what did it take to be able to pull it off?
Well, the whole process of putting together the nights of significance, it was actually a journey, and that came from a poem that I wrote, and doing research with Special Envoy, Mr. Trevor Prescott, and some other historians who would have given me the information and so on. And like you said, moving it from off of the papers, the books, right, and bringing it alive on stage, right, is something that I always wanted to do. And this production, Night of Significance, I mean, that is exactly what I did.
That's beautiful. How did Akil get involved? I need you to tell me, because I don't know of Akil as an actor. And you are looking quite surprised, but I'm honest. I know listening to him on the radio, behaving badly, usually with on 98.1 with DJ Skills. You know, that's the side of him that I've heard.
Well, he has now earned the title as Lord Eiffel. Oh my goodness! And you cannot. I know how we begin to say Lord Eiffel. It's Lord Eiffel.
Lord Eiffel.
And I met Akil with at the University of the West Indies, where we would have the productions that that Professor Hilary Beckles would have written, and he acted then. But also I know he has dance ability as well. Right, and you need to see Akil on stage.
I absolutely do.
He did NIFCA last year, and that is when I saw the man in another light. You know, dancing a duet. It was entitled, what was it? The title of the piece again that you did?
Bittersweet Part 1.
Bittersweet Part 1.
Not Akil over here blushing, man. Let me come over here to you, Akil. Let me hear all about this foray into dance.
Well, first of all. Buenos dias, Tisha. Eh?
Buenos dias,
claro.
senor.
Yeah, I have to practice my Spanish to go back to Venezuela. Well, my first degree is in performing arts. I've been acting since I was in school at Comamere. ISO got me on, the late, great Sonia Williams as well. I've been doing dance for a long time. But when I opened the school, most of the public would know that I am a principal, I teach. Some would know I would have done pageants and stuff like that. But I've always tried to maintain, productions and doing these productions. Now, Carvalho forgot Carafesta. We traveled to Carafesta when I think it was 2006 to Trinidad, where he did some of the choreography, so I had to do some of the dancing as well. In this production, I would have been in another production that Carvalho was involved in. And he said, hey, listen, I have a production that is based on the 1816 rebellion. I will let you to play this part. And he said, but you have to do some dance. I said, okay, cool. Now, anyone that has ever worked with Carvalho would know, because you mentioned his dedication. He is not someone that accepts 90% or 65%. You have to give it your all. And I'm happy to say that most of the actors that played either had to dance. Salif, who's not here, Richard, he is a drummer, one of the best drummers in the Caribbean. And he has to act. Corey as well, Corey Bradshaw, he had to act. almost every single person in the play or production had to do at least 2 or 3 different roles. And even in terms of Salim, he's a dancer that can act. I'm an actor that can dance. So that's how, you know, I looked at it. So Carvalho found a way to bring together a unique cast, many of whom would have studied at the Arabar Center, some who would have had experience doing other things like Anik does. Sharifa, who is a fantastic actress. A lot of people will get the opportunity to see her when we actually mount the production here. But the Venezuela trip was, I mean, I've traveled on national duty before, but I've never experienced what we experienced when we went to Venezuela. The others that came before would have spoken about the standing ovation. What they, Salim especially forgot to mention was that the Venezuelan people are extremely humble and they greet you with hugs, and you know, they're very appreciative because the slave rebellion that Bassa led coincided with Simon Bolivar and his you know, revolution, getting Venezuela and out of Spanish control. So when we went to present it in the Bolivarian state and we finished the production, many people came up and wanted photos and wanted to learn about Nanny Grigg, which who we think, is pivotal and needs to be recognized as a national hero.
For the contribution made. Talk to us about the transplantation, how you were able to move it from a presentation here. I would imagine, based on the fact that you had to kind of downsize the cast and then present it in another place to another audience, whom you wouldn't know from the outset how it would be received, obviously, because of the language bridge, I like to call it. There must have been some changes that you had to take on behind the scenes to be able to make sure that you were still able to share the message in a way that it was still presented in its fullness.
Well, it was challenging, Tisha. It was really challenging. But to downsize the cast from 40-something to 11 persons and have it be just as impactful or more impactful, you know, that process was really, really nail-biting. And as like persons had to multitask, right? And I have never seen, you know, the language, you have the language bars, but when you have, say, dance is a universal language, your body language. So don't care where you go, people can read your body language. And the vibe and the story, because I had it done in subtitle, and then the leading person that told the story, who represented the spirit or the voice of the ancestors, Sharifa Joseph, some of it was delivered in Spanish, you know. So we embraced their culture into ours, and the teacher, you can imagine, each time we performed, standing ovations. You look into the audience and people crying as though they went through the experience, you know, with Nanny Grigg and Busa, you know. So and then persons asking, but Nanny Grigg, is she a national hero? I said no, but that's why we're doing this, right? So that Nanny Grigg is the agitation for Nanny Grigg to be recognized as the mother of Barbados, a national heroine in Barbados.
As a teacher, I would imagine that this has particular significance with you as well, Akeem.
Okay, so I like to look at things from a personal experience. When I was in school, I never liked history. I never did well in history, even though I like to read. When I was introduced to theater, I read Shakespeare. Remember, I still given us Shakespeare to read. But when we got the opportunity to act it, all of the things I remembered. So a piece like this, and it's interesting because when you ask children about the national heroes, they're able to tell you, well, you know, Sarah Ann Gill, they normally say Rihanna first, right? And then they go down the line. But the thing is that when you ask what was their contribution outside of what you know, they're unable to say, well, Bassa, the rebellion, for example, was the first of its kind in the Caribbean. It had It was actually on Easter Sunday. I think it was April 14th. You know, things like that they don't remember. But I remembered from doing this play. A lot of research that Carvalho would have done and shared with the cast, we had to read. And that's one of the other things they want to big at Carvalho for. We've done a lot of productions. Sometimes you don't get the opportunity to, you know, do plays. And when you do period pieces, you have to spend more time doing research. And this is something that I would like to see in schools too, where you can have students be a part of plays, watch plays, go to productions, and they can learn from just being a part of the experience, you know, the experience of what one of the national heroes went through, or an aspect of what they went through, let me put it that way. So it is something I'm looking forward to seeing integrated in the school system, but that is a conversation that would take us an entire day, maybe a metro to KFC.
I don't know. That was my next question. Not about KFC, but about the experience outside of what you did on stage for you.
Yeah, but the experience I mean was electrifying. Venezuela, the people are so friendly, and the hospitality. I wasn't expecting it to be that, because when we hear the news, you know, I mean, it's one thing, but to experience it, to be there and experience the vibe, the culture, the hospitality, the love, and as Salim said earlier, and they actually hug you, they embrace you, and it's like they would have experienced everything that we in Barbados experience, and it is really, really, really eerie, because I wasn't expecting that at all.
What about your experience, Akeem?
I'm smiling for many reasons.
I can see.
My experience in Venezuela is something we'll never forget. I plan on going back.
We could tell by the greeting, Buenos dias,
yes. You know, I can say, for example, when you go and you travel and you are greeted, the police, and I've represented the island in karate too, in Mexico, and you would have police or writers, but the difference is that the police ask questions. They want to know who is Busa. And as Carvalho said, the language barrier wasn't an issue, also because they use a translator. And when we were asking questions, especially when we were in San Agustin, the children came up to me, they asked, they wanted to know about Barbados and, you know, what we do, you know, but the hospitality, let me tell you something. What you see in the media about Venezuela is nothing compared to what it really is. There's a lot of negative publicity sometimes related to Venezuela. I can tell you I've experienced nothing but hospitality, warmth, love, appreciation. I've made some, you know, pen pals and contacts, but Salim and Corey really had the best time. I just want to make sure you big them up. They had a fantastic time. I'm so sorry they didn't really get into, you know, Salim's experience fully, but it was a wonderful experience, and I hope that I get to go back, you know, within the next 2 months or so. But I think Salim is going down before me. So.
Good stuff. Congratulations on all that you've been able to do with heading off to Venezuela. I know that the relationship between Venezuela and Barbados is multifaceted, and it's wonderful that it continues to grow in this way. So I certainly look forward to all that we can do. The Nights of Significance, a true work of creative art. So congratulations to you as playwright and director, Kelvin Carvalho, a name that continues to go up in lights, literally and figuratively. And for you, Akil Eiffel, whom I share a surname with. Most people won't know, but I've been an Eiffel for almost 20 years.
Wow.
So, well, yeah, tell you something new today, right? Yeah, get through. And they were trying to get me to say that Akil is the youngest head teacher on island, but he just sold himself out. He said that he got pen pals in Venezuela. So, you know, pen pals, you know, that will date him. All right, so thanks for coming in again. It's been wonderful sharing with you.
Thank you.
Hey, time for another break here on Morning Barbados. We have some cooking to do. We have some drinks to share. It's Friday after all, and in Barbados. And we are going to keep it, you know, tight, because this weekend we're looking toward the observance of World Health Day. So we have to make sure that we are doing it the right way. Plus, we are telling you all about Rise Reggae that's coming up this weekend, so don't you go anywhere.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Tune into CBC Newsnight for the NISS Business Report, a comprehensive look at the local, regional, and international business world every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday during CBC Newsnight. Brought to you by the National Insurance and Social Security Service. More than a contribution, it's your lifeline.
Every night, we bring you a complete look at the weather forecast because keeping you safe and informed is our top priority. The CBC Weather Report, brought to you by Ace H&B Hardware, the helpful hardware.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience. The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
Tune into CBC Newsnight for the NISS Business Report, a comprehensive look at the local, regional, and international business world every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday during CBC Newsnight. Brought to you by the National Insurance and Social Security Service. More than a contribution, it's your lifeline.
Every night, we bring you a complete look at the weather forecast because keeping you safe and informed is our top priority. The CBC Weather Report, brought to you by Ace H&B Hardware, the helpful hardware.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience. The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Welcome back. So we're in the kitchen, always great. So let me welcome Chef Michelle and Lyndon. Listen, they're practically co-hosts, so no real introductions needed. Good catching up with you, Lyndon. How was your week?
The week was lovely. You know, lots of hard work as usual. Very little time to do it in, but making it happen.
Yeah, he's going to be shaking up something for us literally a little bit later. But Chef Michelle, we're looking toward World Health Day this weekend, and you have something nice to pull together quickly that others can share in over the weekend.
Yes. So today we're focusing on chicken. So basically we have chicken breasts, which is the healthier option of the chicken. And we're going to do a pan-seared chicken breast salad with kale and cranberries and fresh veggies. And in the other pan, we're going to do a stir-fried chicken wrap with veggies.
All right, so tell me about how you prepare the chicken breast, because you know in Barbados, we love our food nicely seasoned.
Yes.
But we want to make sure that we're
So
not
basically,
using too much salt and things like that.
So basically what I did is that I got the butcher to break down a whole chicken for me. So from this whole chicken, we got chicken strips and a boneless breast. Also from a whole chicken, we can get the chicken leg, which would be either the drumstick, the thigh, or we go a step further and we sell you a boneless thigh. So we can also do from the same breast a chicken supreme, which will just have on the wing tip, which is more a hotel standard chicken breast.
All right, good stuff. So 2 dishes, and you're adding some
Veggies
frills,
and some frills and making it nice.
All right,
and
so
this is a quick meal to do for the kids now that they're out.
all right, so in terms of the seasonings you use, I know that the chefs don't like to tell us everything they're using.
Well,
but,
for me, I use a lot of low sodium products. So we just season with less salt, Cajun, a little pink salt, and some black pepper.
All right, I find that sometimes Bajans run away from chicken breast, and when you do get chicken breast, sometimes it's so chewy. So what's the recipe for not getting your chicken breast too chewy?
Not to overcook it. I normally cook my chicken breast on a medium heat to start to seal in those juices, and then I raise the heat to get my color. So that is why I prefer, for me personally, I like a breast.
All right, good stuff. What about you, Linda? Not for your preference of what you like, but what would you think to pair, with chicken, if we're doing chicken in this way? First of all, if we're talking about something for the little ones, maybe a mocktail or
a nice
a
mocktail,
nice drink.
Or we could just keep it basic and simple, do a nice lemonade, lower the sugar. You don't want to keep the kids too hyped.
How do you make your lemonade? Because a lot of people don't necessarily. I know for us, a lot of people had lime trees in the back and you would literally squeeze the lime out.
Yeah.
These days, people tend to go for the lemon juice and what have you. What's your preference?
I always think fresh is best. And when I make a lemonade, I do a balance of lime and lemon to dial back a little bit of the acid in the lime. Because the lemon is a little bit on the sweeter side, so it cuts some of the acid from the lime. I use brown sugar, same way. And the old traditional way, a couple drops of strawberry.
And you're good to go.
And good to go.
With your lemonade, and that would pair well with?
That would pair well with this for the kids.
All right, so I saw you adding in some veggies there.
Yes, please. So I'm now going to assemble the salad. So we have some local lettuce mixed with some kale and a little bit of spinach. And then to that, I'm going to add some julienne peppers, onions, tomatoes, and I love my salad with cranberries.
Oh, I love that little tart taste of cranberries too. But Chef Michelle, let's talk about kale, because I think we're all generally in the same age range, and it's as if all of a sudden I started hearing about kale maybe in my 20s. Before that, I had never heard about kale.
No.
Let's talk about it and the health benefits and where it really sits into where we should place it when it comes to health.
For me, it's on top of my health chart, because kale is one of those versatile vegetables that you can have blended.
Let's get it over here so everybody can see what's going on.
Yes.
Yeah? You can put it on the top of the
We have the kale and we have the lettuce. So this is
you just mix it? It's kind of like an equal portion of lettuce and then kale.
Yes.
All right. Because I know kale is a very strong, and it sometimes it has to be an acquired taste as well.
Yes, but I like it in this form, and I find you get more nutrients out of it raw. So yes, some people will parboil it before they actually use it. So it is your personal preference. But I just like mine raw with the crunch and the freshness.
All right, for this wrap, you have some sweet peppers in there, red onions.
Yes.
Is that it?
Yes, please. And then,
what type of wrap is this?
This is a whole wheat wrap.
You have to do the wrap on the other side so everybody can see the wrap, Chef.
Sorry.
There we go. There we go. All right.
And this is our Thai sweet chili meal.
Okay, so you're using a whole wheat wrap. What's the difference and what's the benefit of going for a wrap as opposed to maybe bread?
To me, a wrap has more healthier priorities rather than the bread. Bread is gluten. Wrap is gluten too, but to me, the whole wheat wrap has a distinct taste and a distinct flavor and is a more healthier option than these. You know, most people come and say, man, I would like something, but I would prefer if you give me a wrap over the bread. So this same mix that I mix here for your salad, I use some of this in my wrap also.
And what I love about wraps personally is they travel well.
Yes,
so
they
even
do.
if you're going to make it for the little ones to go off to school, you might not want to put the mayo in there so it doesn't get
can't
soggy.
put it on. It might you can put it on the
but
side.
I find they travel well and it's tasty because then you can add the flavors that you love.
It's a really good grab and go.
It is. Absolutely. So we talked, Lyndon, about the lemonade that would go nicely with these dishes for the little ones. But what if we are having a little fun as some adults? What would we pair with this from your perspective?
You could go in so many different directions. This morning we're going to go in the direction of a red sangria. You could also, this would go great like with maybe like a cosmopolitan. Even a whiskey sour would go great with this.
All right, well, Lyndon, get in there, man. You gotta serve some of this, this sangria. I want to hear what's in it. That means that you have to get down behind the counter.
Okay.
So get up out the chair. We bring you here to lime. The only body liming today is me. Yeah, so Lyndon has jetted off to the fridge to figure out what's going on over there. What are you grabbing from the fridge?
So
I'm going to grab some wings from the fridge.
Hold on. What are you grabbing from the fridge?
Grabbing some wings, some juice and stuff for the sangria.
All right, good stuff. Well, Lyndon does that. Tell me, Chef.
So we have plated our salad in our salad bowl, and we're going to top it with our chicken breast now. Some people prefer to slice their chicken breast. It's your personal preference. I like my chicken breast whole on top of my salad. So it gives you the feeling that you're having a complete meal.
Oh, that's beautiful. Listen to me. It's the reason why you're the chef and I'm sitting over here on this beautiful chair because literally 5 minutes later and look at these two beautiful options that you've been able to create. And not only that, healthy options as well.
Yes, they are. They're very healthy.
And then, of course, people can opt in or opt out for what veggies they like for their salad. But you, of course, went for the cranberries in there.
And the kale and the onions, the fresh, garden fresh cucumbers and tomatoes with a tricolor sweet pepper.
All right, well, good stuff. Tell you what, Lyndon has gone on over to the fridge. He's getting ready to prepare that sangria for us. We have a little demo here of what the finished product looks like. So Lyndon is going to tell us how we can accomplish that next. Thank you so much, Chef Michelle, and one of my crew members. He has already tossed his hat in the ring. Come, Tristan. Tristan used to be an intern and now he is fully a part of the team. So if something goes wrong with the audio, it's because Tristan is coming. Tristan told me, is Chef coming today? I definitely have to taste the food. All right, so get in here, Tristan. I'm going to let you taste the wrap.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
Tune in to CBC Newsnight for the NISS Business Report, a comprehensive look at the local, regional, and international business world every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday during CBC Newsnight. Brought to you by the National Insurance and Social Security Service. More than a contribution, it's your lifeline.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We are having a little bit too much fun behind the scenes, right, Chef Michelle?
Of course we are.
Okay, so you get to take a little seat, take a load off, get off your feet for a moment. So there's a new music video that is out. It's called Forever Grateful and it's by Mikey Mercer. And I know once these fellas start putting music out, it means that crop over is in the air or something like it. So let's take in a little bit of this video from Mikey Mercer, something new on this Friday.
Yesterday, oh gosh, but it shake me up. Cause if things went slightly different, nothing earthly could wake me up. And it was in that moment, I know Jaja guided me. Right now I'm forever grateful, and I say this confidently. I know I'm blessed, and I'm so thankful. The Father watches over me. I know I'm blessed, and I'm so grateful. I thank the Father constantly. What a happy feeling. Thank you for this time to play. Thank you for this chance to link up with all of my friends again. Thank you for the sweetest music. Thank you for the food and drinks. Thank you for the opportunity to perform and sing. Yeah, man. I know I'm blessed, and I'm so thankful. The Father watches over me. I know I'm blessed, and I'm so grateful. I thank the Father constantly. I feel so thankful. I feel so blessed. Forever grateful. Yep, yep. I feel so thankful. I feel so blessed. Forever grateful. Yeah, man. I know I'm blessed, and I'm so thankful. Father watches over me. I know I'm blessed, and I'm so grateful. I thank the Father constantly. Yep. Mercer. I know I'm blessed, and I'm so thankful. The Father watches over me. I know I'm blessed, and I'm so grateful. I thank the Father constantly.
All right, welcome back. What a beautiful song, Forever Grateful. We don't expect anything less from Mikey Mercer. So getting us ready for the season, but certainly he does a lot of crossover stuff as well. So we're still in the kitchen here at Standard. And Lyndon, he is now in the hot seat. Yes, he is. Which means he's on his feet. So we're doing chicken today, and we're looking at some healthier options. I see some fruit.
Yeah, we got some fruit here. I have some Hennessy in here. I have some cherry brandy in there already. The fresh fruit, and we're going to go down the road now.
All right, so let's see the fruit, because I think they're the star of the show. The fruit really show us exactly what's happening. So, you know, you have them nicely cut up and looking good. How important is that to sangria?
Well, it's not important to the sangria, but it helps with the look of the drink. So it makes it look a little bit more sophisticated. So I'm going to run over to the fridge, grab the juices and stuff to finish the sangria.
Good stuff, sounding good. So Chef Michelle, talk to us about how the flavors marry with doing some chicken and maybe getting it with some sangria.
I love a sangria. That's the truth. A sangria complements any dish. It is one of those alcoholic fruit-based drinks that you have to have. If you are not a strong drinker, I would suggest you have a sangria. Start out small because sometimes the sangria has some hidden alcohol, as Lyndon said, some Hennessy and cherry brandy.
All right.
So yeah, it complements chicken really, really well.
All right. So
that's sorrel.
Good stuff.
Right, so I'm going to add some homemade sorrel to this that I made myself.
How do you make your sorrel?
Okay, so I bring the water to a boil with my spices and stuff like that. Then I add my sorrel, leave it for about 5 minutes, turn it off, and then just let it sit, strain it off, and build my sorrel from there.
All right, that looked pretty nice and strong.
Yeah.
What else are we putting into this sangria?
This is some honey water for sweetening.
Honey water.
Yeah.
How do you mix that one? You know, in Barbados, it's add a dash, put in a little bit, just a little.
So what I do with the honey water, I boil water, put the honey in, mix it, let it cool. That's your honey water.
All right.
Simple.
Simple and
fresh lime juice.
This is a lot of lime juice.
I'm not going to put all in.
Okay.
Then I'm going to add some apple juice as well.
All right, so really it's a mixture of juices.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so some very interesting flavors, I would imagine. And of course, you're going to get a little taste of the fruit. How long do you want the fruit to sit in there, Lyndon?
I would say anywhere from 4 hours. You don't want to leave it overly too long because especially if you have citrus in there, it may start to take a acid taste, especially with the wine, depending on the wine that you use as well.
All right, and you're using a darker wine?
Red wine, yeah.
All right, so a red.
So we're making a red sangria.
Yeah, it's a red sangria.
And you're being very generous with that bottle.
It's Friday.
What we say?
It's Friday.
Put a bit more in. It's Happy Friday.
Yes.
At least they said this one for the homies.
Nope. Happy Friday.
With a little extra stuff. All right, so you're going now for the fruit.
Yes.
In terms of your fruit medley, did you decide on a particular set of fruit, or can you decide which fruit you're putting in depending on your taste?
Well, it all depends on your taste, what your preference is. Some people just go for berries, strawberries, blackberries, raspberries, stuff like that.
Okay.
I like to go for a mixture of stuff. I add my grapes as you should as a sangria.
Yeah, I would imagine with the berries you get a tartar taste.
Yeah, but then you can manipulate it according to how much sugar and stuff you use in the sangria.
Okay, to put in.
Yeah.
So a sangria, by definition, then is just fruit with some alcohol.
Basically.
All right. What does the alcohol do with the fruit, chef?
Ferment it.
Yeah.
So sitting the fruit in the alcohol actually ferments the fruit. So it's something similar to like a great cake taste. So you will have the alcohol inside the fruit. For me, when I drink my sangria, I just like to sit down and eat my fruit.
Yeah, so you drink the sangria and then you have the fruit.
Yes, afterwards.
Okay, good stuff. I don't think I've ever gotten to the fruit in any sangria I've had.
If you don't get to the fruit, sangria wasn't good.
All right, so the fruit on the bottom, a little ice on top.
A little ice on top.
Mm-hmm. And, this is a great drink. You have a nice display here.
Sangria jar.
A nice drink to put out when
For
it's
parties, for entertaining. Yeah, this is one of those things that really complements a buffet table when it's set up.
And these days are so hot. You have a nice drink outside. I love, too, that you can really do this for little ones, not necessarily only for grown folks. If you have some little ones around, you can do maybe a virgin sangria. So they have some of the fruit juice and stuff like that going in.
You got fruit in the whole one. Like
fruit block in the whole.
All right. Well, you're going to have to find something to get that out.
Yep.
Scoop.
The scoop? Okay. Well, Lyndon is going to work it out. That's one of the challenges.
Of the sangria.
Okay, so we're going to try to see how we can get that out. Go right ahead, man. This is live TV. People understand what can happen. Is that long enough, sir?
Yes, it's long enough.
All right, here we go. Maybe it works now.
Should work
I
now.
think maybe you're gonna have to turn that around so it hangs off
the
To me,
table.
the
yeah.
table to you. Make life a whole lot easier. There we go. And this was simple enough.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's very simple to make.
It definitely works. All right, sangria. I'm just a little nervous because of the amount of
Alcohol that is in it. You know, it's
put in
Happy
there.
Fridays.
You know, it's Happy Fridays, but I still have 15 minutes to go with today's show. So let's hopefully we'll make it.
This is going to be the happiest 15 minutes of your life.
There might be a few close seconds that I can't tell you about. Yeah, but definitely looking really good with the fruit
Yes.
and stuff like that. All right, so we have
Sit right
Tristan
there.
in place already.
And he's going to have a
And
sangria.
he is ready to go because this is what pairs nicely with
The chicken.
the chicken and what he has. So again, once again, chef, you did a nice salad.
Yes.
You're welcome.
You did a nice salad with a wrap and a salad with a chicken breast.
Yes. And cranberries and mixed greens.
And then a wrap.
Yes.
All right. How old are you, Tristan? 23. Okay, so you can taste a little bit of the sangria. All right, so let's see you tasting. I don't think he has any utensils, so let's see you tasting that wrap and see how it goes for you. He is at the entertaining table today. Oh, Tristan is trying to be nice today. We're accustomed to seeing you make some big bites. Thumbs up for the wrap. Absolutely. He definitely is being a nice guy today. We've seen that bite before.
Of course we have.
Today's a decent Friday.
Yeah. So you're going to taste and see how nicely the sangria pairs with it. All right. All right. Oh, he can handle it. All right. That's good stuff.
Yes.
So, again, Lyndon, as we look toward World Health Day, people still want to be able to enjoy a little alcohol and, we have to eat.
Yes.
So, but you can certainly decide how you're going to observe these times, and the choices that you make a big difference in your health.
Exactly.
So,
They do.
moderation is the
In
name of the
moderation.
game.
Yes.
Absolutely. Now he's going to try the chicken breast. And like I told you, for me, usually the chicken breast that I see or some have tasted, people kill the chicken breast all over again. So they cook it and then cook it some more. And that can be a real challenge.
I've had some chicken breasts that, I think you can make shoes with them like leather, man.
He definitely likes that. We don't have to ask any questions.
No, we don't.
So some fine dining today with with Tristan. Good job, Tristan. Up top. All right, good stuff. and of course we have to taste
our
chef.
sangrias. Yes. Happy
I'm
Fridays.
always a little nervous when
Lyndon mixes drinks. Me too.
It hardly has any alcohol in it. Come on.
I saw you put it in there.
All right then.
Listen, these are the types of drinks that you run away from.
Yes,
For
because the
simple
alcohol
reason,
sneaks up on you.
it doesn't taste like it has any
alcohol
alcohol.
I told you it hardly has any alcohol in it.
Lyndon.
This is TV. It's the.
Listen, we're going to take a break.
Yes.
Because we saw him. We have it as evidence. All right. So we're going to take a break and come on back. And before we go, we'll let you know what's coming up this weekend. It's going to be a busy one. So stay here.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience. The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, so I had to get up and get in the action. Lyndon needed a little help here in the kitchen, and I had to jump in and help. You good? All right, absolutely. And Chef, you know, she's always on her feet.
Yes.
So it's good when you can sit. I see you haven't had any more of that. All right, so while she tries to finish that and Lyndon cleans up, we're going to tell you about what's coming up. All this weekend, we've been telling you all a week about the activities that are coming up. So you want to make sure that you're heading out this week. Now, the Lions and Leos of Zone 3A, they're having a health fair entitled My Health, My Right is coming up tomorrow, Saturday, April 6th at Queen's Park. Starts at 9 o'clock in the morning, goes through till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And it's to celebrate World Health Day. There will be free health checks, blood pressure, blood glucose, cholesterol, and glaucoma checks, and a whole lot more. So we're inviting you to go on out and be a part of that. Also coming up tomorrow, Blackman and Gollop Primary School, their annual Calypso competition. We introduced you all this week to the young Calypsonians who are going to be a part of that presentation. It takes place tomorrow, starts at 5:30 at the show, at the school. And this week, you know, we had an opportunity to meet them. Avery Carter, Kamara Phillips Carter, Ethan Waterman, Eniko Gittins, Michael Holder, Catalea Carter, Joshua King, Isabel Wood, Ethan Waterman, Madison Burkett, and William Bryan are all the students who are going to be a part of the presentation. Will King Boy retain his crown? We'll surely have to wait till tomorrow to find out. So you can get your tickets at the school. Make sure you check them out if you have the time to go support the students of the Blackman and Gollop Primary School. Also, the Barbados Amateur Gymnastics Association is extremely excited to host its annual Gymnastics Invitational, and it's titled the Trident Classic. It comes off tomorrow at the Garfield Sobers Gymnasium. Starts at 9 o'clock in the morning. So local clubs Flip Gym Barbados and Acroflex Gymnastics, they'll be competing against clubs from Trinidad, Jamaica, Antigua, and it's going to be exciting. Over 135 gymnasts are going to be here in Barbados and competing in the women's artistic gymnastics pre-competitive level, WAG levels 1 through 8, as well as tumbling divisions A through D. So there's lots happening with that. Plus, PAHO, they're having a wellness fair. This year, the general theme circulating for the World Health Organization for World Health Day is My Health, My Right. And we want to make sure you take that in its fullness. So this year's theme was chosen to really champion the right of everyone everywhere to have access to quality health services, education, information, as well as having safe drinking water and the like. So we're inviting you to head out tomorrow, Saturday, in recognition of World Health Day with the Pan American Health Organization, WHO, in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and Wellness and other partners. They are hosting this free wellness fair along with the Barbados Defense Force at their mobile field hospital, and that of course is at the National Stadium at Waterford. That starts at 11 o'clock in the morning and goes through until 6 o'clock in the evening, and the community outreach event will aim to provide safe and enjoyable health and wellness services and activities there for free. So make sure you go on down and take advantage of that. Also tomorrow, and something we shared with you this week, Ellerslie Secondary School, they're having their Miss Ellerslie Ambassador 2024 pageant. That comes off at 6 o'clock at the school compound tomorrow. So make sure you go on over to the Udine Barito Auditorium. Doors open at 5 o'clock, like I told you, to be a part of that presentation. So I told you lots of things were happening this weekend. Barbados Boy Scouts Association, their Family Fun Day is coming off as well. So it's the final event for the celebration of Scout Month, which was in March. And their theme for this year is Boy Scouts Charting New Paths. And they're doing just that. So it'll be held at Queen's Park from 10 to 5. So all current and past scouts, leaders, friends of scouting, parents, family members, and hopefuls for the scouting fraternity, you're invited to head on out and be a part of this presentation. So there will be a fun zone for the children, novelty races and games, as well as food and drinks, and all of that will be on sale. It's free, and all are welcome. So that's all that's coming up. When we talk about what's on, that's all that's coming up. That's a lot, right?
That is a lot.
Yeah, so people have a lot to choose from. Of course, we heard from the Heart and Stroke Foundation about all the things they will be doing with the octagonal warning labels as well. But something else major that's coming up this weekend, I'm always a lot of papers. Yeah, but then, you know, it's part of the job. You have all these things.
Yeah.
Linda walks around with the opener. I have papers. So we're telling you all about the Rise Reggae Show. Rise Reggae Show is coming up. And we told you earlier that we were expecting Spice to come through this morning. However, we know how this works. We know that once the artists come to the country, they have to do song checks and this and that and media this and that, and sometimes they don't make it. And she's not going to make it on time because it's almost time for us to close up. But certainly we're happy to tell you all about Rise Reggae that is coming up this weekend. And there is lots happening with Rise Reggae. We're going to tell you where you can get the tickets and which box offices you can go to be a part of that presentation after this. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Tune in to CBC Newsnight for the NISS Business Report, a comprehensive look at the local, regional, and international business world every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday during CBC Newsnight. Brought to you by the National Insurance and Social Security Service. More than a contribution, it's your lifeline.
Every night, we bring you a complete look at the weather forecast because keeping you safe and informed is our top priority. The CBC Weather Report, brought to you by Ace H&B Hardware, the helpful hardware.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Hey, welcome back. It was good having you with us for this entire week, and we certainly hope you have a great weekend. I hope you're heading out to Rise Reggae. Spice is going to be there, the queen of the dance hall, Dexter Daps. We know about Dexter Daps. Yeah. Roger Wild, and of course, Barbados' own LRG is going to be there as well. CBC is the presenting sponsor of Reggae in the Gardens that's coming up later on April 28th as well. So we'll tell you more about that next time as well. So this weekend though, Rise Reggae, make sure you head on out with dance hall artists Spice, Dexter Daps, Roger Wild, LRG. I'm sure you're going to have an exciting time at the Botanical Gardens. Take it in. You taking that in, Lyndon?
For sure. Have to be there.
I'm supposed to be there.
All right. I certainly hope you had a great week with us. We enjoyed having you here, and we look forward to seeing you again on Monday. Be safe. Wear your smiles. do something good for somebody else, and come on back and join us on Monday. Have a great weekend.
Have a beautiful
Bye-bye.
weekend.
All right, good stuff.
Wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.